All right, guys. So in this video, I want to talk about what is your reason for starting a business? What is your why? Why are you doing this? I kind of shared a little bit of this in the past video about for me what that was, kind of like how I was being mistreated by my previous employers. I just couldn't work for somebody. It was just not in me. And I always had that bone in me that tells me to go start a business. It was just in me. That's my reasoning, right? And my why, the deepest reason for my why is that I just couldn't work for someone and be mistreated every day. It was a pain that I had to escape. Okay. So I want you to do an exercise after watching this video. And basically, I want you to write down the reasons, not the reason, the reasons why starting a business is the right thing for you to do. And when things get hard, because they will, what's going to keep you in the game? All right. So what that could look like for you, and I speak from people that talk to me about this stuff, guys. People tell me, I want to start a business because I want to have more money and I want to have more time. Well, I want to also tell you this. When you have a business, you have less time. And for a long time, you have less money. So you have to create the right expectation for yourself. So for example, when you start a business, they say the first 2 years you lose money, the next 2 years you kind of break even, and the next 2 years you actually start making a profit. That's pretty accurate. Of course, I'm going to give you things that are going to expedite that and hopefully make it less time for you to be profitable. We want to be profitable as soon as possible. But when you have no idea what you're doing, you have nothing, then yeah, 2 and 2 sounds pretty accurate. But on top of that, you have to know that it's going to be difficult and you need to have a reasons of why you're doing this. And I want to, again, clear for you that when you start a business and you run a business, you don't have time. You got to think of this as you are building a warship. Let's just call it a warship, like a whole ship, like a boat, and you're a warrior and you're in the boat and you're the captain and you are slowly adding different employees or, to help you with the boat, someone to handle the sail, someone to turn on the motor, someone to cook. I mean, you get what I'm saying. You need a team to help you run the boat, in other words. But at the end of the day, you're the captain. So you got to be the number one leader. You got to inspire, motivate. You got to do it all. And you got to be able to do every single job in case one of those people quit or get fired or whatever the case. You got to be able to do their task. So you could be hanging out one day because all of those positions are filled and you're just kind of running the steering, if you would. And then one day your guy gets fired or he leaves and now you got to go and you got to cook or you got to put up the sail. The point is, you're always involved. You're never really going to be completely away. You got to know that going into it. So when you say I want more time, I hate to say this, but for a long time, that's not going to be the case. And if you don't know how to run things, it may never be the case. See, in my case, I was actually able to do something like that where I had a bunch of time off and my company was running itself. But I had systems, processes, good people on board. And this is the kind of thing I'm going to be sharing with you on how to do. But you need to go into it with the mentality that you're going to be always working and that you're really doing this because you couldn't do anything else differently because this is your goal and you just can't be an employee. Number 2, you're doing it for the sake of money because you're in business to make money. Okay. You're not in business to create jobs and you're not in business to, take care of people. I mean, you're going to do those things, but at the elm of the top of it is you're trying to make a profit. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to make a profit, but the whole idea of even doing this is to make a profit for as many years as you want and eventually sell it. And now you retire and you live a good life, right? So at the point of doing a business, it's just to make more money. Period. Because as an employee, you're always going to be capped as to how much money you're going to make. But you have to go into it with the reasons behind it to just get you to that point of success. So I showed you my whys and my reasons why, and I'll just run through them again. My reason for starting a business was I hated working for someone else and someone telling me what to do and mistreating me. So it was like I just had to escape being someone's bitch. That's just it. That was my biggest motivator. And so with that, if I can make more money while I'm getting away from that kind of pain, great. So that's why I did it. That's my reason. That's my why. And when things got tough, man, there wasn't enough tough to overcome the pain I felt inside every time I went to work. So there you go. That's my reason. And I wrote that down and I remember it, and it's very clear because I feel the pain. Every time I went to work, I would feel that pain. So it was a reminder every single day that this is my why. This is what I'm trying to get away from. This is why I'm building a business, so that I'm the boss and I can take care of my employees the way that I wish I was being taken care of. And I can make more money than I could ever imagine. Okay, just to put it into perspective, guys, I started my pest control business from zero, as I've explained. Zero. And in 4 years, I had $1 million business. That's a lot. And that's really fast with no money, just effort and figuring it out along the way. I didn't know what I was doing the first 2 years. So very proud of that. And when I sold it, I walked away with a multi-million-dollar deal. Okay. And I did that all under 5.5 years. If I was working as a nurse, where would I be 5.5 years later? Probably in the same place, making the same amount of money. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you start a business, because of the money that it will provide to you, the fact that you won't have to be someone's bitch. You'll just be your business's bitch, but at least it's yours. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. You're going to be, because you're going to be the captain. You're going to respond to any problem. You're going to be the person there when things go wrong. If it succeeds or if it fails, it's all because of you. And when you're an employee, that's kind of out of your control. You can only do your task. And if you're doing something wrong, someone's going to be breathing down your neck about it. And so you need to know what your reasons are, man. And it's not just your family. Now, yeah, your family is a huge motivator, because not only do you have the reasons, hey, I want more money and I don't want to be someone's bitch, but hey, I want to give my family the best life possible. And I know that this is the way to get there. Okay. On my next point, I also want to I'll be talking about choosing the right business, because it's so important to choose the right business, because you could choose the wrong one and it doesn't matter how hard you work, how much effort you put in, you'll never succeed. All right. So it's very important that you watch that video. But yeah, write down everything I just mentioned. What's your reasons? Why do you want to start a business? And when things get tough, what are you going to read to remind you as to why it's worth it and why you're going to get through this? All right, guys, see you with the next one.